Hello and welcome to the video of today. Today we're going to be using a higher perspective and you may find that weird. You may also remember my LEGO Guardian video. After I made my Guardian video I made a Micro Guardian, and then I turned that Micro Guardian into a Skywatcher and a turret. However, as of yet I have not made a large Guardian Skywatcher or a large Guardian turret to scale with minifigures. Except that now I have. This is the LEGO Guardian Skywatcher, which basically I just took a bunch of parts off the normal LEGO Guardian and transformed it into a Skywatcher, so this can be a pretty easy build if you've got the Guardian already built. So let's get started. So this was all that was left of my LEGO Guardian after I took him apart to make a Skywatcher. We've got the main base, center, we've got these caps on the sides, hub wheel things with all their ball and socket joints for holding the legs, though we've taken the legs off, and we've got the pink decorations in the center. From that, we're going to add a few pieces. Some of them will be from the old Guardian, and from that, we're going to make a new Guardian Skywatcher. First thing to do is flip this upside down. If you're wondering what the first step is, that's it. Now let's take a look at the pieces we're going to need. Let's start off by talking about multiples of 3s. So, most of this build is done in the Guardian. It was done in a series of 6. You'd have 6 of almost everything going around everywhere. But with the Skywatcher, it only has 3 propellers, so we only need 3 of everything going around everywhere. So first off are these caps. We add these to the inside, because the Guardian had a full-size head, but the Guardian Skywatcher has a really thin neck that goes inside, so we just add some things to go into it that make it seem more full. So here are the pieces for one of these. We've got a 2x2 disc, a 1x2 brick, and here I've got a 1x2 brick with a bar. It doesn't actually need the bar on it. I just like having the bar there. So you could have 2 bricks and one of these discs, or a brick and a brick with a bar and one of these discs. Also, these discs can be flat studded. I would have used flat studded if I could, but I don't think I have that many flat studded gray discs. So that is the body filler for our Guardian. Next, we've got the propellers. Again, we need 3 of these. So here's number 1, here's number 2, and here's number 3 disintegrated on the floor. One sec. Let's zoom in on that. So here we've got a 1x6 bar. This is going to become the propeller. Then we've got another Travis brick and another normal brick. These go on the bottom and the top to give it that weird cone shape. We've got a stud thing here. This holds into the propeller and goes inside the Travis brick to give us our propeller connection. And we've got a 1x1 stud, just one. Then we've got 3 1x2 jumper plates. These go on each of the sides. On the 3 sides, the 3 outsides, this 1x1 goes on the inside, and that give it its weird cone shape as well. And we've got this dot. You don't actually need this dot. I like it because it gives the arm a bit more decoration. Then we've got these as the arm holders. Again, as with my Guardian, you can just use the 1x2 pieces with the clips on the end, and the bars on the Guardian. So just use whichever hinge you used on your normal Guardian for this. Except you might need to find a different version. Like with the Guardian, it was going up and down, so you need to use a 1x1 with a clip and a 1x1 plate. And I can use the 1x2 with the up and down clip, because this is held to the Guardian upside down, whereas the last one was held to it sideways. Anyway, last but not least, we've got this little blue stud for decoration. And that finishes off our series of 3 pieces. Last, we've got the head. Okay, so here we have a quite chaotic jumble of pieces, which I really haven't bothered to organize, so I'm sorry. Anyway, so let's start off with the pieces. Let's start off with the cannon in the center of his head. This is the same as the Guardian. We've just got the cannon piece and the blue laser, which make up his eye. Let's put those to the side. Then we've got these 2 pieces which go on the sides of his head. These are 2x4 discs. Just go 1 on each side of his head like that, and make his head entirely dark gray. Because the cannon is actually light gray, and we use some other light gray pieces in here. They don't actually need to be light gray, but I've got them in light gray, and that's convenient, and you don't ever see them, so they are light gray. Then we've got this. This is an anvil that goes on the side of his ear. It's actually meant to be an ear loopy, but his ear loopies are weird, and I found this the best way to do them. So just use this 1x1 brick with 2 studs, 1 on each side. Then we use 2 plates, like that, 2 1x1 plates. a cheese slope. That's what this is known as. I think it's a hilarious name, the cheese slope. And we've got this 1x1 dot. That's one ear loopy, this is the other one, so you're going to need 2 of each of those pieces I just described. So yes, 2 of the 1x1 things, or just 4 of these 1x1 tiles, 2 of that, 2 of that, and 2 of that. So let's move these ear loopies off the side because they are causing most of the chaos. In fact, let's move these sticks away too. So next, we've got 2 Travis bricks. One of these is used in the neck, and one of these is used in the head. It holds the 2 side pieces on. I will say it's kind of a weak connection, but it's the best I could fit in a small space. I had a really hard time making this, otherwise it would be out sooner, because the head is just a lot of everything in a little space. So we've got the 2 Travis bricks for the rest of the head pieces. These are the neck pieces. So this Travis brick and this little pipe brick, this could be in dark gray or light gray. I'm currently using it in light gray. These go up and down the neck, and I forgot to put this piece on. This is the piece we replaced the little pole going up and down the center of the Guardian with one of these. It works as the new neck because it will let these slide along it rather than requiring us to use a Technic connection. Then we've got these 2 1x2 tiles and this one brick. Not brick, but tile, and these are 2 plates. Actually, I got that backwards. Sorry, my terminology is wrong today. And that goes opposite on each side for the neck. These go on the other 2 sides. And this clip goes in the top of this bar. It holds the Guardian head on. So there we go, those are the neck pieces. Now let's bring into focus the rest of the Guardian pieces. Again, this Travis brick holds all the pieces together. We've got these 2 bricks, which are for the top, along with this 1x2 plate and this 1x2 jumper plate. This is basically just hidden, which is why it's light gray, because we're not going to be seeing it ever. That's why I've got it in light gray. Dark gray or any other color with the rainbow would work too. Then we've got this jumper plate. You could also use a flat plate here, but I think a jumper plate gives it a bit of a better texture. So that's for the top of the head. And we've got 2 1x1 tiles and 2 cheese slopes for the rest of the bottom of the head. Okay, so let's get started building after that chaotic compilation of pieces. Okay, so first off, the propellers. Let me see, let's grab the pieces here. Out of this chaotic jumble of pieces, we're going to create a mechanical propeller thingy. So let's start off with this piece. This is our ball piece, or it could be a clip piece, depending on which kind you're using. Put this 1x1 circle dot on the bottom of it. And this is going face down. We take this brick, put it on the bottom as well, and take this Travis brick and put it with 1 stud on one side. We want to take that side and put it towards the ball and socket joint. You could put this plate on after, but it's a lot harder. It's easier to put it on first and then attach it down. That's why I was meaning where we've got it on one side and these jumper plates on the other 3, because if we had a jumper plate on this side, it would get cut off by this thing or stick up high or both, which would not be what we want, not the desired result. So there we go, that's the cone shape. We take this blue dot, put it on the bottom for that weird shiny dot at the bottom of the Skywatcher's propellers. We take this little Technic pin and this 1x6 plate. Clip the plate on the pin and put the pin in the brick. There we go, that's the propeller. We'll say it's not my favorite spinning connection, and it's quite fragile, but it's the best I could fit in that weirdly shaped small space. If you can come up with anything better, I would really love to see it, because this is so fun to spin, but it doesn't spin for that long before it just fizzes out. Okay, next we've got that body filler part I was telling you about. Here are 2 of them, and the last one is really, really easy. In my case, it's the bar. Take the bar, put the brick on top, take the brick, put the plate on top, and there we go. We just need 3 of these. Now, last and most, because it's really, really, really the hardest part, we've got the head. Let's start by taking our bar and clip and a Travis brick, and putting the Travis brick bottom up on the top stud of the bar, like that. I hope it makes more sense if you can see it, because this is a really confusing connection. Then we take this pull thing, put it on the top of the Travis brick, which is going to be the bottom, but then we flip the entire Skywatcher upside down, so it's going to be the top again. Then we take these 1x2 tiles, put 1 on each side, aligned up with the studs of this clip piece, 1 on opposite sides of this clip piece, and then we take a studded one and put it on the opposite side. This makes it kind of even, so you've got studs on both sides and flat on both sides. Even though I'd have them all flat if I could choose. Sometimes you can't choose. Okay, so there's the neck. Next, we take the next Travis brick and put it on top of this clip. This is a really confusing point. Next, we need to get one of these clips onto the side of the Travis brick towards this clip, and we put two 1x1 plates on the opposite side. Like that. Then we put another cheese slope on the opposite side. Next, we need to take our little bricky thing, the launcher, and put it so it's middle dot of the 3 dots there is on top of that Travis brick. Yes, this is going to be a bit undercut, but if it weren't, then we wouldn't have room for that hinge. And this hinge is what lets our Guardian aim up and down. So next what we need to do is we need to take one of these little angled plates, put them across from one another there, this plate on top, and our jumper brick on top of that. So now you can see we've kind of got the circle of the Guardian's head attached to its neck. And we need to take our 2 discs. You should have 4 circles on each adjacent to the center circle. Pick one of those circles and attach it to the Travis brick down there. That should relatively line it up. It is a bit of a confusing connection, having it low down, but if you twisted the brick, it would wind up twisting kind of weird, not around the center like I would normally have it do. Attaching things at the center is always easier. But in this case, we're working on an always hard model. So now we've got our ear anvil-y thingies, so I can pull in this one for us to look at. It's this one, we've put the stud on the bottom, which lets us put it in the center of the 4x4 disc. Then we put a slope facing up, and we take our 2 tiles, put one on the top and one on the back, and there are ear anvil-y things. So we put one on each side of the head. This is the front of the head, so that way it can tilt down and look down at the ground, because otherwise it's just looking up at the sky, which is not something the Skywatcher normally does. Even though it says it watches the sky, it doesn't watch the sky, it watches the ground. So we put our anvil-y things on, one pointing up and one pointing down like their weird ears normally do. So there we go. That is the overly complex head minus our little shot. We put that in, and now our head is done. Now it's got an eyeball and a stick out the back of its head, which you can use to shoot you with. Okay, so let's assemble this all together. If we have done our math correctly, we should both have 9 separate parts. First off, we've got the body of the Guardian, then we've got this axle that runs up and down the center. Those are 2 separate parts. Then we've got the head, which is the third. Then we've got 3 propellers. Here are the other 2. And 3 body adding pieces. So let's start the assembly with just the body, and we can take this pole, take it, stick it through the back so it comes out the top. This is going to be the axle our head goes on. Right there. Next we need to take these 3 body pieces. You should see this Y thing in the side. Wherever one of these spokes is not, like right here, that's where you want to stick your brick in. It should go and sit all the way at the bottom. But it will have a weird kind of crack gap there. Like it doesn't like to sit there. Which it probably doesn't. But we're going to make it. So there we go. One in each of the corners to make this weird triangle-y thing inside, which I kind of like. Next what we want to do is take the head. This head, without its eyeball, I'm leaving the eyeball out because otherwise it's just going to start firing off as we go. It just needs to be stuck and pushed down and down and down into its deep caverns of sadness. Except it's not really sad because he gets to shoot at people. Then when we want the head to elongate, we can just pull this out a bit, which is a bit tricky in its own self. But that's the way I got the neck to come out and then go back in at the same time. It's the only way I could find to do it. I really wish they had some kind of great extension bar, but they don't. So anyway, now what we need to do is take a propeller, put one on every other joint, so not here but here. And then our Guardian will be complete, except without the laser. Don't forget to add the laser because lasers are important. There we go, happy guardianing. Hello everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I hope the Guardians don't take over the universe. Like they just did in Zelda. Anyway, have a wonderful time, I hope you build this, and I hope you enjoy the model. If you come up with any better ways to do the head or neck or any attachments like that, please let me know, because this thing was bugging me for forever. Anyway, I'll see you next video, and goodbye.